Hey guys, Dr. Josh Wagner here. Hope you're staying focused Tuesday midday, and I hope you're doing well in your March Madness pools as well. So I just got off the phone about an hour ago with a doctor new inside Perfect Patient Funnel System, started with Patient Mastery, got in last week during the new member special, and he's opening up a new practice after 18 years in practice, and over the last few months has been devouring everything he could get his hands on to really position himself in the best mindset and strategies for making this work really well. Like, he's had past very successful practices. And he got on the open phone line yesterday, and we had because he's in Platinum, a one-on-one call this morning. And he said, one of the things I enjoyed hearing was, Josh, in the past, yesterday and today's calls, I've got more ideas and insights and value than I've had in the past 4 months of devouring everything I can find that's out there and new in the profession. I don't say that to knock anyone, I just say there's a big difference when you're connecting one-on-one compared to just getting a handout, a strategy, something you learn on your own. That's another reason why getting on the phone, but more likely in person, is so valuable. But here's one of the things here's just one of the little things that we talked about. And it's setting up your new patients for the right experience and expectations. So in Patient Mastery and Perfect Patient Funnel System, I talk about something called the leadership statement, that first connection that you have with your new patients in that consult. Now that's after them, of course, speaking with your CA over the phone, that's after CA in person, but there's nothing that's more significant than your certainty, your confidence, without any force or aggressiveness or ego. There's nothing more valuable than what's here and here in your headspace when you connect with that person. It trumps all of what your new patient paperwork looks like, what your website looks like, even what your office looks like. Not to say all of that isn't valuable and extremely important, but it's all secondary. Now, of course, based on your CA phone call and your website, if they're not making it in to your consult, that's a whole other story. But starting up a new practice, or really at any level, there's always 1,000 things we have in our mind, distractions, what we could be doing, what we should be doing. And oftentimes that gets in the way of developing this and this to be the most powerful, certain, congruent person and practitioner that new patient has ever met, let alone that day, that week, ever. When you have that, that's when referrals really start taking place. And when you have that, all of the other things take care of themselves or fall into place themselves. Whether it's the new patient paperwork, the insurance info, the scheduling, whether it's online, after hours, or a call center, all of that takes care of itself when you have this as the most powerful of new patients. So here's a great way to make sure you're setting up your new patients to be in a state where they're most receptive to listening to you, to understanding this is how it goes here, and not from a standpoint of trying to teach them what subluxation is before they get in. So there's a big difference there. And how I alluded to that leadership statement is what they should be exposed to. They should be exposed to that leadership statement and more before they even come into your office. So they know exactly how that visit's gonna go. But more so than that, every other detail, like, is there any confusion on getting to your practice? Signage, parking, landmarks, directions, anything that they should be aware of. Anything that, are they going to fill out the new patient paperwork before they get in or in the office? Is your new patient paperwork strategically set up so they're going to tell you more rather than expect you already know it and hold back, or get bothered when you ask them the same questions that are on the new patient paperwork, or get that weird feeling in their stomach when there's all these like Socratic questions or weird questions like, what kind of a learner are you? Auditory, visual, kinesthetic? And if we find the root cause of your condition, would you like us to tell you? Like, don't do any of that on your new patient paperwork. They've seen it way too many in too many timeshare pitches that they don't want to see it with their chiropractor, and it's not helping you, because even if you got that, you're not going to use it to convince them anyway. But I digress. Are you sending them likely a video, 2 minutes, displaying all this information what to expect on that first visit, exactly how it's going to go, any confusion about getting to your office, any frequently asked concerns or questions that new patients often have that even though they have that concern, they're most likely not going to ask you. Maybe they'll ask your CA, who knows how she responds, or he, but they probably won't even ask, because if they have a concern, they're going to feel like if they voice it, that they're being confrontational. And no one wants to be confrontational in life, especially in the doctor-patient relationship, let alone like 3% of all people are even going to confrontational anyway. So there are obvious concerns and frequently asked questions from the public, but you know, after years in practice, what are the most common concerns and frequently asked questions that your patients get? And are you addressing those and dispelling those before they even walk in your office, let alone waiting for you to ask or thinking if they don't ask, they didn't have that concern? Guarantee that's not it. So, anything about getting to your office, exactly how the visit's going to go. And if you repeat that in your leadership statement, that's fine. It's just reinforcing it. Covering frequently asked questions or frequently asked concerns, letting them know that's not how it's going to go, in case that's what you were expecting or that was a past experience. And then are you dropping, because again, this isn't a personal video to every new patient. No, this is a set video that you're making that gets emailed, that perhaps is on your website. And the beauty of, let's say, being in the program is I'll give you exact feedback, what's going on in that video when you're a member, like, hey, not just the setup and the background and the lighting, the words, the energy and the tone. Dude, you can get the best script, and if it looks awkward on camera, patient skeptical. If your energy isn't right, patient skeptical. There's so many components that you need a trusted person to give you that feedback on, that knows what a patient is looking at for, not what a chiropractic student is looking for. So, digress again. Are you dropping because you don't know exactly what that person's coming in for, because you made this video 6 months ago and now they're a new patient? You let them know, listen, I don't know exactly what you're coming in here for yet. I'll find that out in the consult, but here's what we're exceptional at. Here's who we love taking care of and seeing great results with. And you dropping the conditions and the symptoms and the issues that you most want to attract in. So it's automatically planting that seed in their mind that that's what you're there for. So not everyone can make a video easily, even though now and ever more in the future it's getting easier and easier with your phone and software and technology. But even if it's not a video, even if that's overwhelming, you could put that in an email. You could make it bullet points. You could make it a story that they're expected to, or that you assume they're going to read before they come in. It's possible to position yourself and let them know exactly what to expect and the experience they're going to have and how great that experience is going to be. So there is less ambiguity, there is less uncertainty when they come in. And especially if you're offering a free consult, that they know if we go forward with the exam, what that's going to be. And there's no ambiguity of you having to say the exam fee or any of that. They know when they scheduled, they know from that email, whether written or video, they know when your CA confirmed with them before they came in, and they know a fourth time for when they came in that your CA gave them again instructions if you're going to have a complimentary consult with Dr. Wagner. And then if he feels you're a candidate for going forward with the exam, we can do that today, and that will be X. There's no room for ambiguity. Your phone's probably going to die, but I'll just keep going. Here's something I was doing a video before specifically for a certain group. Most people get confused about why they get the results that they get in life. They think, oh, if I do the vision board, if I write down the goals, if I train hard enough, and I'm not just talking about practice results, I'm talking about your body, relationships, any aspect that's important to you, and people usually want to see change in. I do the vision board, I do the visualization, pray, I write down my goals, I invested in this, I do the training, whatever that means. And they leave out two huge, significant factors that most people don't tell. Why? Because it's free, you don't have to pay for it. But it's also hard, even though it's free and it doesn't cause you to break a sweat. First one is, do you even believe you deserve those results? If you don't, doesn't matter how much you invest in, how much you train, how much you visualize, how much you write down your goals, all of those are secondary and tertiary, and you should be doing those, and those contribute. But if you don't believe it first, you're done before you even start. Now, I address that significantly in the PPFS and give examples of what to do to start shifting that, because most of us don't believe we're deserving of whatever we're going for. That's why we're going for it. That's why we don't have it right now. It's not because you're not good enough. It's not because you're not tall enough. It's not because you're not living in this state. It's not because you don't have that car. It's not because you didn't invest in that program. It's because you don't believe you deserve it. So just knowing that is only half the battle. Second is actually going out and saying that's what it's going to be like to yourself and to whoever else is possible for giving you that. So let's just say in the new patient experience, you want that new patient experience to go a certain way. You want a certain outcome, and you want it to be an amazing experience. And are you going to leave that up to luck or chance, or just that you prepared on the back end, like really working on a beautiful patient-centered consultation, recommendations, layout of care investment and protocol? That's important, of course. But are you going to go ahead and tell the patient ahead of time that's how it's going to go? Like with enthusiasm and certainty that inspires them, not like makes them feel like they're backed up into a corner or pigeonholed, that they could only invest in the 1-year care plan, otherwise go find another chiropractor. Now, this is not 1997. So, do you believe you deserve it? And are you actually asking for it? Like asking for it, announcing it, saying this is how it's going to go, both to yourself and to the other parties who have the ability to make it happen. So it's not that you're announcing it to, like, let's say your Facebook friends and then expecting that new patient to comply. You're announcing it to them. That's one major aspect and theme of preparing the new patient's expectations. It's not just logistical. It's not just so that they know how to find your office, they know how the first visit's going to go, they know the fees, they feel more comfortable with you on camera, they feel that you actually care. It's about planting that and announcing and declaring this is how it's going to go, and it's going to go great. Where else do you see, besides the new patient consult and conversions, that may be missing and you're not getting the results that you wanted or hoped for? Challenge you to look at that. So, hope you got something valuable out of this. Look for an important email special today and tomorrow. If you're on my email list, you can go to patientmastery.com. Videos, emails, webinar examples, especially on new era care recommendations, how to give really the most honest, congruent, and profitable care recommendations that make sense to you, the doctor, and the public and patients that I've ever seen. That's what I share, and I give that to you on a completely free webinar. You can find that at patientmastery.com, or maybe after you opt in. You need anything, I'm a message away. I want the absolute best for you. I want the best for your patients. And when they're getting the best, you're going to get the best. And I want the absolute best for this profession. Means the perception, raising the perception of this profession, so you are the most referred to, sought after, and respected chiropractor and doctor in your community. It's been way too many years in this profession that hasn't been delivered on. That's changing. That's what I'm passionate about. That's what I'm committed to. I respect you and admire you week in and week out, the service you deliver to your patients. If you need anything, I'm a message away. I'll see you tomorrow.